Hey, sports fans, Louis Diamond back at you live from Las Vegas with BettorCenter Live. And we are here today with lots of a full slate of Major League Baseball for you, and had a decent day for you yesterday. Split up in the Executive Club, but hit for you in the Red Hot Picks. Looking to hit for you on both the Red Hot Picks and the Executive Club. And we've got plenty of plays for you here today. And we're going to start right out of the gate with the first game on the board. That's going to be the Chicago Cubs. And they are at the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Butler's on the mound for the Cubbies, while Williams on the mound for the Pirates. And the line opens up with Butler minus about $1.15. And it is currently still about $1.15. And the total opens up at 9.5 under. And not too much movement on the total, but I'm seeing a little value there. We'll get to that here in a second. The Cubs are 12-4, their last 17 in Pittsburgh, but 2-5 the last 8 meetings, and 2-6 overall, 3-13 on the road. So, and 1-8 versus a right-handed pitcher, a righty on the road. So Pirates come in a little bit warm, 4 out of their last 5 at home and overall, and Williams 4 straight wins. So I see a little bit of a value there with a small little home dog in the Pirates. But the Cubs, I see the under has been money, and it's time to, really time to capitalize on it. 6-0-1 for the Cubbies during the first game of a series to the under. 13-5 their last 18 versus a right-hander. 10-4 on the road, and 4 straight unders in Butler's last 4 starts. Pittsburgh 3-0-1 their last 4 overall, so we got a tiny bit of undering for them. And but Williams 3-1-1 counters that, his last 5 to the over. And yes, head-to-head they have gone over, 12-5 the last 17 meetings. But that is not going to stop me from making a play on the under. 9.5. I'm getting sucked in. That's too high of a number today. At least I definitely think so. I will be making that a 3-unit diamond play. The Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates under 9.5. Next game on the board. Going off at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the St. Louis Cardinals with Martinez on the mound. He's $1.25 favorite. Pretty much hovering there all day so far. At the Baltimore Orioles, Gausman on the mound for the Orioles. Total 8.5. Over is the opener. 9 is the current number. So we are definitely seeing a little bit of a touch of an over, but not much. Cardinals 5-2 the last 7 meetings against these two teams, but they're 4-10 their last 14 overall, and 1-10 their last 11 road games. So you think with Martinez on the mound, that might be a spot for him. 13-5 his last quality starts, or after his last quality starts, but he's 1-5 on the road. So can't see any value in the Cardinals whatsoever here today. Baltimore 5-2 their last 7 home games. But now you got to put money on a team that's 1-7 their last 8 overall. I'm not seeing it. But even though they got Gausman on the mound, 19-7 his last 26 home starts. I'm going to leave the side alone. I see a lot, if anything, touch of an edge on Baltimore, but not feeling the love at all on that. The total, 4 out of 5 for the Cardinals have gone over. 13 out of 19 on the road versus a righty have gone over. But Martinez is their under pitcher, 5 straight, and 6-2 on the road. The over is hit for 8 out of the last 11 in Baltimore games, but at home they are under money, 43-21, 42, 44, 21, and 2. Their last 67 home games to the under. But Gausman has been on an over roll here. 5 overs and a push his last 6, 6-1 his last 7 starts overall. His last 6 at home. Head-to-head, 4 straight overs in Baltimore, 4 straight overs together. I'm not seeing much either way on this play here today. We'll be passing this game on. Move on to the next game, which is going to feature the Arizona Diamondbacks with Corbin on the mound, playing the Philadelphia Phillies with Nola on the mound. Nola opens up $1.15 favorite, steamed up to $1.30, so Philly gets a little bit of the money. And the total goes from 8.5, steamed right through the 9, down to 8.5, 9.5, steamed right down through the 9 into 8.5 over right now. So definitely some steam on that under in the Arizona-Philadelphia game. D-backs 20-8, their last 28 overall. So definitely a hot team right now. But Corbin's last 11 road starts, it's 1-11. Phillies 7-3, their last 10 home games versus a left-hander. And that really is their one spot where they win at home. 23-49, their last 72 at home, and 1-4 when Nola is on the mound. Have a tough time back in Philadelphia anytime. Arizona 7-2 to the over their last 9 games. Definitely an over team at home, as I've mentioned many times. Definitely an under team on the road, as I've mentioned many times. But Corbin is the road over pitcher, as he's 8-2 to the over on the road, 16-6 to the over his last 22 overall, and for a team that is 31-13 to the under on the road. You found your spot where they do go over, so a little bit something going there. Philly, we're always looking to play over. Nola set 12-5 to the over his last 17 starts, so that gives you a little bit of an edge. Philly a little bit of an under versus a lefty, 3-1 to the under, their last 4. But 5 out of the last 6 have gone under, and 4 out of the last 5 in Philly have gone under. But that won't stop me from making a small little play on this one to the over. As I said, Arizona may be an under team on the road, but not when Corbin's on the mound. So we'll try to take advantage of an over situation here with Arizona and Philly. And the total is 9 or 9.5. I will be using that as a 2-unit Emerald play. Next game on the board goes the Chicago White Sox. They are playing the Toronto Blue Jays. Quintana on the mound for the White Sox. Biagini on the mound for the Blue Jays. Biagini minus $1.65 after opening up $1.50, so he gets some steam. Total gets steam to the over as it opens up 8.5 over, and now sitting at 9. White Sox 4 straight wins in Toronto. 4 straight wins for Quintana on the road in Toronto. 7-1 for the White Sox. The last 8 meetings versus Toronto, but they are 22-52 on the road versus a righty. 7-20 their last 27 road games. Seems to be a spot where they do win. I don't know if I want to pick it right here, if this is really the spot, but Toronto comes in 16-7 their last 23 home games, and 4-10 their last 14 games versus a righty. And as I said, the total opens up at 9, and $1.50 favorite there for Toronto. Blue Jays are 1-4 in Biagini's last 5 starts, so that makes me a little bit leery for the Blue Jays, who have some decent numbers, but not against the left-handed pitcher. They're 1-8 at home, their last 9. So there's definitely some, there's something there for the White Sox as a small little dog, but not really against a fairly warm Toronto team. The overs hit 11 out of 16 for the White Sox on the road, but Quintana 9-3 to the under his last 12 starts. Overall, 34-16 to the under his last 51 road starts. He's got a push in there. The under's been the flavor for Toronto as well versus a left-handed starter, 36-15, and 15-7 their last 23 at home versus a starter. And Biagini, 4 straight unders overall. And head-to-head, there's definitely some under material with Quintana. 4 straight unders versus the Blue Jays and at the Blue Jays, while 10-4 to the under the last 14 in Toronto head-to-head. So maybe a little something on the under. I don't see enough to pull the trigger here. Maybe you have. Next game on the board is going to be the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and they are at the Detroit Tigers. And Norris is on the mound for the Tigers. Ramirez for the Rays. Norris opens up $1.45 favorite. Gets faded down to $1.30. So some money on Tampa Bay there. Total 9.5. Rays 3-7 the last 10 meetings. 2-5 in Detroit. Not seeing the steam for the team. The Rays 1-4 versus a left-handed starter. 1-5 their last 6 road games. You want to know why the steam? Ramirez is their one sweet spot. 6-1 his last 7 starts for the Rays. While Detroit comes in 2-5 their last 7, and Norris comes in 1-5 his last 6 home starts. It's not enough for me to pull the trigger, but I can see a little reason for some Tampa steam. The over has hit 7 out of the last 8 for Tampa, so I'm usually looking for a Tampa over lately. 7 out of 9 overs on the road for Ramirez, 6 out of 8 overall. Detroit, 4 straight unders for Norris's home starts. But in Detroit, these two teams have gone over 7-2-2 the last 11 times. And Hickox, when he's behind the plate, 5-0-1 to the over. So I do see a little bit of an edge to the over. I worry the 9.5 and the 10. It just seems to be a little bit too much for my flavor, so I'm going to pass this game, but there's definitely an edge on the over. I see a big edge on an over in the next game, and that is going to be with the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets. Like I told you yesterday, I was looking for a reason to play them over. I couldn't because they had a head-to-head, but I had the pitching that wasn't giving me the over. I think I got it today. And we got a short number because they like to throw Scherzer, because everybody likes to bet Scherzer under. I think Scherzer's got some over value because he gets steamed to the under number 1. But we'll get to the total in a minute. Scherzer opens up $1.55, but he gets faded down to $1.40. Mets are hot, so. Mets on the mound for the Mets, a total 7.5 under, -20, so they're giving me an opportunity to get no juice on this game here today. But I may sit and see if I get even a drop down to a 7. So I may sit on this one before I play it. Actually, I am. I would recommend you do the same. You start seeing it creep up a little bit, you get on the 7.5. But the Nats are 43-14, their last 57 in New York. They have owned them 6-2 for the Nats. The last, or 9-2 for the Nats. The last 11 road games, 2-5, their last 7 overall, though. But Scherzer, 22-7 on the road, 21-8 overall. So that's usually when you get a winning pitcher, everybody wants to correlate that to and under. And yes, it does happen often, but Scherzer gets a lot of run support, which you may want to look into that before you start jumping on his unders. Mets 5-2 overall, 1-4 though for Mets. His last 5 home starts. 4 straight overs for the Nats, but the under is 7 straight for them versus a lefty on the mound. But Scherzer on Friday, don't know what it is, but Friday is, that weekend game, big something about it. 11-2 and 1 to the over for Scherzer on a Friday start. The over for the Mets, we're always going to find good numbers there. 22-8-5 at home, 38-17-8 overall. And but Mets is a under pitcher at home, 6-1 and 8-2 his last 10 overall. But 4-0-1 to the over for these two teams head to head. So I am going to ride, and maybe I'm getting sucked in a little bit to that number at 7.5, looking for the 7. But I am definitely playing this as an executive play to the over with Washington and the New York Mets. And the total right now is 7.5. Look for it to maybe go down to 7 and buck the steam here. So the over with the Mets and the Nationals is a 10-unit play for me today. And let's get on to the next game, which will feature the Dodgers at the Reds. Wood on the mound for the Dodgers. Adelman on the mound for the Reds. Dodgers open up $1.80. They get faded a little bit, and now $1.70 road favorite. Big number on the road. And total opens up 9.5. That's usually a high number for a Dodger event. 5-2 for the Dodgers the last 7 games in Cincinnati, and really dominating the series as they've captured 53 out of the last 78. They are 6 out of the last 7 overall. Wood, 6 straight starts, 6 straight wins. 1-7, 1-6 though on the road. Cincinnati, 4 straight home wins, but they've just come back on the road. They're 19-45 versus a lefty, so that doesn't help them in today's event, especially versus a hot pitcher. 2-5 at 7, their last 7 at home versus a lefty. And Reds 0-6 overall, but Edelman's 4 straight home starts. So I'm not seeing the value to throw the Dodgers in the parlay, even though I think the Dodgers are probably going to win this game. But Edelman's been a winner for them lately, and Cincinnati may be happy to be home and maybe capture a game here. The over is hit for 6 straight in the Dodgers games, so that's why you're seeing the 9.5. 5 straight for them versus a righty. 4 out of 5 on the road. 6-2 to the over for Wood. His last 8 starts, 5-2 on a Friday start. 4-1-1 for the Reds, their last 6 overall to the over. And Adelman on grass, 4-1 to the over, 4 straight overs head-to-head. So I see why they could be playing the over. I think the 9.5 is too much, so I'll be leaving this game alone. Let's get on to the next game where I think there's some money in this one. Oh, yeah. And it's the Miami Marlins, and they're playing the Atlanta Braves. Straley on the mound for the Marlins. Newcomb on the mound for the Braves. Total is 9 over 15, still hovering somewhere around there. I'm riding the over in this, guys. So total, the Braves open up a $1.15 favorite. Still not too much movement there either. Marlins 5-2 their last 7 overall, but 3-5. And the Braves are 3-7 at home. So a little bit of an edge there for the Marlins, who have gone over 5 straight games versus a left-handed pitcher. 9-1-1 on Friday, 15-7-2 on the road. So we got the over team on the road versus our favorite over, one of our favorite over teams, the Atlanta Braves. So we're always looking to play them over. 19-7-2 to the over the last 28 times these two teams have gotten together. 8-1 to the over in Atlanta. So over, guys, over. Nice solid winner here for you today. Braves, Miami opened up at 10, down to 9. Jump on that 9, guys. It's a winner. Over 9. Miami and Atlanta. 10-unit executive play. Cha-ching. Next game on the board at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Seattle Mariners at the Texas Rangers. Ross on the mound for the Rangers. Paxton on the mound for the Mariners. Mariners open up a $1.25 favorite. Moving up to $1.35. Total goes from 9.5 to 10, so they're getting a little bit of an oversteam. Mariners have captured 7 out of the last 8 meetings. Okay, but they're 0-6 in Texas. So, kind of washes itself out. They are 5-2 on the road, but they're 3-8 on the road versus a righty. 5-1 for Paxton's last 6 Friday starts. 5-1 his last 6 overall for the Rangers, but they're 1-5 at home. So Seattle comes into the under, 6-1, their last 7, versus a righty, 6-2, their last 8. 4-1 to the over, though, for Paxton on the road, while Texas comes in 6-1 to the under overall, 7-2-1 to the under at home, 19-7-2 versus a lefty. So a little bit back and forth there, but head-to-head, it's been over city. 7-1 in Texas, 10-4 the last 14 meetings head-to-head. Not enough to get me to pull the trigger. I got too much good stuff out there today. So let's move on to the next game on the board. The Boston Red Sox. They're playing the Houston Astros. Pomeranz on the mound for the Red Sox. Friars on the mound for the Astros. $1.21 favorite for Friars. Gets faded down to $1.15. Total opens up 9.5. They bet it right through the 9 down to 8.5 over right now. So they're steaming the under in this game. Red Sox 4 out of the last 5 against Houston have gone their way, and 5 of their last 7 overall have gone their way. Houston 6-2, their last 8 versus a lefty. Obviously 41-18, their last 59 overall. Friars comes in, money pitcher, 4 straight, and 15-6 at home. So tough matchup there. The price shows. Kind of a pick 'em there. Minus $1.10, and a little bit of an edge for the home pitcher. Boston comes in 3-1-1 to the over on the road versus a righty in Pomeranz. He's an over 5-2 overall, his last 7, but on the road, 9-3 to the under. Makes you want to not pull the trigger. The under's been money for Houston in the first game of a series, 18-8-3, and Fry's on the mound during the first game of the series is 3-1-1 to the under. But head-to-head, these two teams, 19-7-1 to the over. The last 27, 8-3 to the over in Houston. So a little bit of an edge on the head-to-head matchups, but not seeing it with the teams or the pitching. A little bit of an over, 4 Friars. That's about it. So tough game, tough matchup. Let's move on to the next game, and that will be the Cleveland Indians at the Minnesota Twins. Turley on the mound for the Twinkies. Carrasco on the mound for the Indians. Always looking for a reason to play Carrasco under. I don't think I got it today, though. 156 he opens up, and he's still somewhere hovering around there. 10 is the number. 10 under is the number, the total, and it's still somewhere around there. Indians 4 straight meetings in Minnesota. 10-3, the last 13 overall. Carrasco 1-4 versus the Twins, while the Indians are 1-4 their last 5 road games. 6-1 though. Carrasco's last 7 starts, so he is their money pitcher. 20-8 his last 28 road starts, and he does a good job on the road. The Twins though come in at 7-1 their last 5 Friday games, so they wake up on the weekends. 11-5 during the first game of a series. They wake up that first game of a series. So first game of a series on Friday, that correlates. But they're terrible at home versus that right-handed pitcher. 22-55, 2-6 their last 8 home games. The under has been money for Cleveland on the road versus a lefty, so that's why I can't be rolling with a Minnesota over today. And Carrasco on the mound, 10-3. His last 13 starts overall to the under, 12-4. His last 16 on the road overall to the under, 18-6-2 to the Indians on the road to the under. So some good under stuff, but Minnesota's been getting steamed over, and that's why you got kind of a high number. 4 out of 5 in Minnesota have gone under. 4 out of 5 for Carrasco in Minnesota under. 6 out of 8 have gone under head-to-head. There's certainly an edge on the number, but Minnesota's been overpriced. It jumped on them yesterday, the over. Took a little bit of a hit there, but still wound up having a small winning day for the Red Hawks. So, but I'm going to pass this one today just because of all that crazy little movement on Minnesota, but I certainly see an edge with the under tonight. Next game on the board, San Diego Padres. I'm always looking to play them over. Milwaukee Brewers. I'm always looking to play them over. Guess what, guys? I'll be playing this one over tonight. So Diaz on the mound for the Padres. Total's 9. Steamed up to 10. And I wasn't the only one looking to play them over, was I? So $1.60 favorite is the opener for Guerra on the mound. $1.55 now. Padres 16-39 on the road. So you're looking for a reason to bet against them on the road. I don't see the lock money on Milwaukee, though, tonight. 1-4 for Guerra on the mound. His last 5 starts. 1-5 his last 6 at home. And 0-5 his last 5 versus the National League West. San Diego comes in with 3 out of 4 overs, just a push in there. We had them the other night. 7-1-1 to the over, the last 9 overall. And they get a day off. 22-8-3 to the over. So that's giving me more reasons to play them over. Milwaukee on a nice little overrun right now, 4-1, their last 5 overall. 15-7 at home when they play a righty. Guerra's last 12 home starts have gone under, though, 8 times with 3 overs and a push. So the Padres 2-5 in Milwaukee, but I am still going to roll with these 2 teams over. I got a little something, and what I am doing with them today is I am playing them on a 3-unit diamond play. San Diego, Milwaukee, over the 9.5. Maybe 10. If you got the 10, I'd still play it anyways. Next game on the board, San Francisco Giants playing the Colorado Rockies. As we know, the Rockies have been hot. Senzatela on the mound for the Rockies. Smarja on the mound for the Giants. Always looking to play a Smarja game under. Total 10.5. Gets steamed up to 11.5. So maybe a little bit of an edge there. I think so. The Senzatela goes from $1.25 favorite down to $1.10, so they certainly put a little steam on Smarja. But he's 1-4 versus the Rocky, and the Giants 0-5 at Colorado, 0-6 head-to-head against them overall. 3-8 on the road, 1-5 their last 6 And Smarja, 9-19 his last 28 starts, will not have me following that touch of steam. Colorado, 9-3 overall, four straight winners at home for Sensatela, and 9 out of 13 overall for him. So I see some value there with the Rockies today. The over has hit 4 straight for the Giants, 4 out of their last 6 on the road with a push in there. But Smarja, he's your under pitcher, 4-1-1 on the road, 19-5-3 his last 27 overall. So I see a small little edge for pitching, but I'm not going to go with it. I'm not rolling with him even on a play or an edge because Giants are on an overrun while the Rockies are on an underrun, 6-2-1, but over pitching with Sensazela at home where he's 5-1 and 8-2 overall. So Smarja 6 straight unders versus the Rockies, and Cedarstrom on behind the plate 6 out of 7 overs. Got to leave it alone, guys. I don't think there's much there, so I will pass in this game. I'm not seeing the steam, and I'll pass in this game overall and move into my third executive game today, which will be the next game on the board, the New York Yankees, and they are at the Oakland A's. And if you were watching yesterday, you had a nice winner with us with that yesterday. Severino on the mound for the Yankees, southpaw, minus $1.40. Gets faded down to $1.30. Manea on the mound for the A's, and opens up 7.5 under minus 20. Seems I'm not the only one. I'm playing this one over. 8 over minus $1.15. So got some steam on the over, and I believe we're even at 8.5 now. So I will take a look as we're talking live. Oakland, New York, 8.5, and 8 at bookmaker.net, and we got 8 over at minus a quarter at 5 dimes. Bovada minus $1.30. But stations here in Las Vegas at 8.5 flat, and we still got some 8 overs. Plenty of them out there. So get on it now, guys, because you may see 9. You saw it move to 9 yesterday by game time. Gave it to you early. So you are getting your information. They're getting the information you can bet on, and I'm going to be doing that for you. This, well, we're going on a little bit of a hiatus for the next week or so, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you can look forward to plenty more of quality information on BettorCenter Live in the coming months and seasons ahead. So Yankees, the over has hit 7 out of the last 10 for these two teams in New York. So give me another reason to play it. I hit it yesterday. Why not go with it today? 6 out of 8 for the Yankees overall. 6 out of 8 for Severino. 5 out of 7 for Severino on the road. All of them to the over. 10-1-1 to the A's. So the last 13 overall. So they have been over money, and so have we, because we've been on them with the last series in Tampa Bay, and we're on them here with the Yankees, and it should hit here again today. Manea also an over, as he's 3-1-1 his last 5 home starts. Yankees probably the money again today, and they are 4-1 in Oakland, 6-2 the last 8 meetings. But going to put my money on the total. We're going to play it over. Let's go as high as the 8.5 right now. If you're playing it at 9, you're asleep and you're not paying attention and you're waiting too long. But you'll probably still win anyways. Next game on the board, Kansas City Royals playing Los Angeles Angels. Kennedy on the mound for the Royals. Chavez on the mound for the Angels. Chavez opens up $1.20. Small little fade down to $1.15. 8.5 overs a total opener. 9.5 under is where she sits right now. 5 straight wins for the Royals, but 3-9 in Kennedy's last 12 road starts. 5-1 for Chavez, his last 6 starts. Makes me want to leave this game a little bit alone, and that's why the number is so tight. Royals have been overing 6 straight, 7 straight on the road. 6-0-1 in Kennedy's last 7 starts. 4-1 his last 5 road starts. And the Angels have been overing at home versus a righty, 6-2 to the over, and 4-1-1 in L.A. when these two teams get together. But they got an under umpire tonight with Buckner, 11-3 to the under. His last 14 behind home plate. I'm going to leave this one alone. I think I got you some solid winners there today. So let's recap your plays for today. First off, your red hot picks. And once again, these red hot picks are documented at BettorCenter.com every day. Currently, 73 winners, 106 losers, 12 pushes for a 41.8% record. But I'm only minus 3.52 units, guys, because of red hot picks. I play between 1 and 3 units every day. These are my smaller plays as I'm handicapping and looking for my plays for my executive clients, the 10-unit plays. What I do is I find smaller plays, games that I'm looking at, series that I want to play maybe a little bit stronger, want to test out. These are the red hots. So only 3.52 units to the negative for a 76 winners. I stole a little off. And 106 losers. So, and I've given you 2 plays here today. I'm sorry, I have 3 plays here for you today in the red hot category. And that is going to be the Cubs and the Pirates under 9.5. San Diego and Milwaukee over the 10. 3-unit plays. And then we have Arizona. Damn it, I forgot what it was. And I'm going to have to get back to you. And you know what? Go to BettorCenter.com and you get to play. Absolutely free. So, and then let's get over to the executive play. And I have 3 picks in the executive category today. And those are all 10-unit plays. 10-unit plays, guys. Executive picks. Currently, this is a good record, guys. 85 winners, 56 losers, 29 games to the plus column. 60.3% to the win, plus 179.83 units, which means if you're playing a dime a game on these games, this baseball season, you're up almost $18,000. So, and today, let's see if we can make that $31,000 with 3 solid winners, 10 units each. Washington and the Mets over 7.5. Atlanta and Milwaukee over the 9. And Oakland and New York over the 8, and now, as I believe we said, that game has stepped up to 8.5 in certain spots. Hopefully you got it early. I got the 8, and get you the plays early. All you got to do is text free winner to 90210. I'll get you the plays before they hit the air and before they move. Because as you see, when I give you something, it usually moves in my direction. This is Louis Diamond. I appreciate you sticking around here on Better Center Live. And I will see you on Monday with a Better Center recap. And this is the way it's going to go for the next few weeks. I'll be putting in some red hot picks on the LVSPN, in the LVSPN studio. And I'll be doing the red hot, or the recaps for Better Center handicappers once a week on Mondays. So we can update all the handicappers. And if you're a handicapper looking to promote yourself, all you have to do is go to BettorCenter.com. You register yourself. You put a profile in there. You start posting pics in there. You post out an offer. You get 100% of every penny that you collect on BettorCenter.com. There's no reason for you to be here, not to be here if you are a sports handicapper. We're going to promote you free. I'm going to put you over here on this screen when you do well, and we're going to talk about why you're doing well and how we can do well for others. So great opportunity for you to get yourself some great exposure. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you got the goods, guys, you know it's time to show it. And if you're not here at Better Center, it's pretty simple. You ain't got the goods. You're afraid of them. So let's go. Bring it. This is Louis Diamond. So look for some more Better Center updates, probably somewhere towards after the All-Star break, or the updates will happen every week, but the live reports will probably happen somewhere after the All-Star break, going with second half of the baseball season into the NFL and college football season with full slates of shows going constantly at LVSPN.com. This is Louis Diamond. Looking forward to seeing you again here real soon.